All well?
No, sir.
What
Yes,
happened?
sir.
Uh, I have been posting videos and sharing those with you. Have you seen those videos ever?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. We had discussed control structures yesterday. So if there's any problem in those, then let me know.
सर
Yes.
सर जो आपने कल मतलब वो फाइल सेंड करी थी वो हमारे फ़ोन में सर खुल नहीं रही हैं जो पहले भी प्रोजेक्ट की भी करी थी वो भी नहीं खुली सर
ओ, नहीं, प्रोजेक्ट की क्यों नहीं खुली भाई?
सर पता नहीं वो मतलब कुछ एप्रोप्रिएट ऐप मतलब कुछ ऐसे आ रहा था
अच्छा, शायद वो
ओपन नहीं हो
कंप्रेस
रही
थी इसलिए नहीं खुल रही। ओके, ओके, इन दैट केस यू डू वन थिंग। मुझे शाम को रिमाइंड करवाना, अभी क्लास के बाद मुझे फिर से ऑफिस जाना है।
ओके
अ,
सर
मुझे रिमाइंड कराना, मैं उनको डायरेक्ट फाइल्स भेज दूंगा। ये पाइथन वाली नहीं ओपन हो रही?
नहीं सर कोई भी नहीं हुई ओपन
सर मेरे
ओके,
फोन में तो हो गई हैं सारी
टुडे
ओपन।
टुडे ऑनवर्ड्स व्हाट विल डू, मैं एक लिंक शेयर कर दूंगा, मैं सारी फाइल्स वहां डालूंगा, आप वहां से डाउनलोड कर लिया करना। ओके,
ओके सर
ओके, फाइन। आई वाज आस्किंग यू कि कल कंट्रोल स्ट्रक्चर किए थे, इज देयर एनी प्रॉब्लम, देन लेट मी नो। So
नो सर।
I assume there's no problem. Okay. Today we'll start with arrays. Last time we had discussed that last time we had discussed that whether there are arrays in Python or not. So, are there any arrays? Do you have any idea whether there are some arrays or not?
No, sir.
सर
Arrays are
इनबिल्ट हैं,
inbuilt.
हम लोग बना सकते
Actually
हैं।
inbuilt तो उसमें सिर्फ लिस्ट है, टपल है, डिक्शनरीज हैं. ओके, arrays आपको import करके यूज करना पड़ेगा. Array is a class in Python. Okay. What is the difference? Anybody? What is the difference between a list and an array? Any one of you? Yes, Varun. What's the difference?
I
सर
don't know, sir.
लिस्ट जो है वो
लिस्ट में हम
हेट्रोजीनियस मतलब आइटम्स के साथ बनी होती है और
डिफरेंट
एरे में हम सारे सेम प्रोडक्ट मतलब सेम आइटम्स ही यूज़ करते हैं
हाँ,
कराते हैं और एरे में हम एक वेरिएबल के अंदर सेम।
एक वेरिएबल के अंदर array is basically homogeneous. It's a collection of homogeneous elements. A list is maybe a collection of heterogeneous also. Though there is possibility that you are storing homogeneous elements, but generally it stores heterogeneous elements also. But array will always be a collection of homogeneous elements only. Is that clear?
Yes.
यस
Yes. Is
सर
that clear? Okay, fine. Uh, what else about array? Array use कब करते हैं? Give me some idea. Yes, when do we use array?
Or multiple elements.
Varun, you're not audible. If you're saying something, then you're not audible.
Store multiple elements.
To store multiple elements. Okay, fine. But why do we use array? When do we store multiple elements? Okay, we'll discuss. We'll discuss it on the way. Uh, like in C, you simply declare integer a and then specify size. So it becomes a becomes an array of 10 integers, right? So the syntax is very different in case of Python. Let me show you. So first of all, you need to import array. Okay? There are three different methods. One is import array. Another we had discussed last time. Import array as they are. There is one more method, from import all are from, oh sorry, गलत हो गया, wait a minute. From array import star. So any of the three methods can be used. Let us focus on first two we have already discussed. Let's focus on third one. In case you are writing from array import star, it means we are importing the classes, all the array classes related with arrays, all the objects, all the variables, and whatever else is there. We are importing everything, right? Star stands for all. Is this thing clear? Is this thing clear? So how do we declare? Let me write it here. Suppose A is an array. We write it like this: array dot array, and then we specify the type. We specify a type here, and then elements, and we will write elements of the array, whatever are the elements. So this is important. We need to specify what is the type of all the elements of the array. So there can be different types. B is there, or it can be B. It is signed or unsigned int, right? It can be I or capital I. Again, it is signed or unsigned int. The first one is short, second one is normal int, and then it can be small l or capital L. Once again, this is basically for long, this is basically for short, and then we have F for float, right? D for double, and there is U for Unicode. Do you know what is Unicode? Anybody? Anybody? Do you know what is Unicode? हाँ जी बच्चे. Anybody?
sir.
What is Unicode? बोलो बोलो. If you don't have any idea, at least let me know.
No, I don't know, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. You know what is the Ascii? What is this? You might have studied about it in fundamentals. What is Ascii? Yes. ये तो पढ़ा है. Your silence means, should I assume it's no? Should I take it as a no?
Yes, sir. I don't know.
Yes, Varun.
No, sir. I don't know this.
Fundamentals में, haven't you studied about Ascii in fundamentals, computer fundamentals, probably in last semester? Okay, no problem. How data is stored in computers? It is stored in terms of bytes. It is stored in terms of uh, numeric values of the characters. For example, if you want to store capital A, or you want to store small a, or you want to store 1, 2, 3, or some other character, for example, question mark, all these characters, they have a particular code assigned to them. Let me show you an Ascii chart here. You can pick up just any one of these. Is the chart visible here?
Yes.
Is this chart visible to all of you?
No, sir, its font is very small.
Abhi?
Yes, sir, now it's fine.
Okay. If you look at it, look at the first row, the blue one. It is the decimal value. Forget the hexadecimal. It's the decimal value. And corresponding to this, let me tell you that first 32 characters are non-printable, right? Up to from 0 up to 31. These are non-printable characters. These are also called control characters. So leave them. So 32 onwards, right? You can see when you are pressing space, then its code is 32. And similarly, when you are writing digits 0, 1, 2, 3, then codes are 48, 49, and so on. Similarly, when you are writing capital A, capital B, the codes are 65, 66, and so on. And here, small a, 97, small b, 98, and so on. So ASCII is a American Standard Code for Information Interchange. That is the full form. So it is a coding scheme which is used for coding most of the characters. Is the ये part clear है? Is this thing clear?
Yes, sir.
So it is basically a 7-bit code because the highest upper limit is 127. It is a 7-bit code. Uh, have you ever used any vernacular language, for example, uh, Punjabi for typing or Hindi for typing or Varun, whatever is your language? Have you ever used it? In Word, MS Word, have you ever tried writing something in your vernacular language, in your mother tongue or something? Have you ever
Yes,
tried?
sir. Yes.
Okay. So, as I told you that in computer, we use ASCII code. So, you can generally type Roman characters only, A, B, C, and so on. You cannot write your characters of your vernacular language. So, how is it made possible?
Installing keyboard.
This is basically through fonts, right? So you install fonts of a particular language and then you'll be able to handle those. Now the problem is this, ASCII, as I told you, its range is only up to from 0 to 127, right? So do you think we can accommodate characters of different languages within this when English itself has just 52 characters, including small and capital characters, right? 52 characters are there, alphabets. Then there are special characters, for example, comma, full stop, colon, semicolon, single quote, double quote, brackets, and so on. So many other are there. So it is not possible to accommodate all the characters of all the languages using just 127 spaces. So to overcome this problem, Unicode was designed. Okay? Unicode was designed to overcome this problem. Now, Unicode can accommodate all the major languages of the world, right? Its size is large enough. It is sufficiently large to accommodate almost all the major languages of the world. So each language is given a particular code page in the Unicode system. So when you talk of, say, Varun, you are from which state?
Kerala, sir.
Kerala. So your language is
Malayalam.
Malayalam. So there will be a
Yes.
separate code page for Malayalam, a separate code page for Hindi, a separate code page for Punjabi, where the coding will be defined that Punjabi alphabet or Punjabi character set is from this code to that code. Is it clear? So it is sufficiently large. I'll take up an example of this also. First of all, let us see how to use array. Simple array, very basic thing. So we'll declare an array A is equal to array dot array. Then I'll specify that it is of integer type and then the list of elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever are the elements, 0. And let's print this array A using different methods or I in A, print I. This is how we are directly printing it. Third method for I in range length of A, print AI. So these are the three different methods using which we can print an array. First is direct, we are directly printing it. Second is through loop, we are iterating through all the elements of array. Let me write here and is equal to space so that these are printed in single row. here also, and okay, let's try this. Oh, I often forget this. Okay, array has no attribute array. How come? If I simply write array, then okay, fine. Here it is. Oh, I had to print I here instead of I. Okay. So here is the output. First output is because of direct print. Second is because of the for loop. Third is because of the second for loop in which we are using index of elements. Is this thing clear, bache?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, let me create other arrays. And let me write import array as AR. Okay. A is equal to AR dot array. Let me take up an example of Unicode. Okay. Uh, all others are from Punjab except Varun.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Varun, can you understand Hindi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll write Hindi alphabet. Okay. Here I go. Let it be K, 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 K. I think these many are sufficient for our purpose. Okay. So let me print these for. I can even create an array of Punjabi alphabet. Let me write it H, and let me write an alphabet, an array for Punjabi as well. So U is the code for Unicode. It is the type code for Unicode. And let me write Punjabi characters. Here we go. K, 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 and whatever else you want. Right. So we'll write for I in H, print I. Similarly for J in P, print J. Let's see the output. Can you see it here? It's showing K, K, Gh, and then Punjabi alphabet as well. So it is possible because of Unicode only. Okay, if you will try to store these characters in Ascii, then it is not possible. Moreover, Ascii is not supported by array, this Python. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's proceed further. Uh, Once again, we had discussed yesterday about random values. Random as R. Declare an array. A is equal to AR. Type is integer. Should be in round brackets. Okay. And inside this, the list of elements should be in square brackets. I am not entering anything. Let me generate the values randomly. So num is equal to int input and the number of values that we want to store in the array. After that, for I in range num, then a dot append r 1 to 100. Okay, and let's print the value, print A. Let's see what happens. What happened? AR dot array. Okay, so it is asking for number of values. Let's store 10 values into it. It has randomly generated 10 values for this array, and these are the values. Is this thing clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt up to this point? I hope there won't be any.
No, sir.
Okay. Indexing of array, I have already told you. Let's do it once again. L is equal to length of array. And for I is equal to I in range L, print AI and with. Let's run it again. It be again 10 elements. 10 elements have been randomly generated, and through this we have been able to use its index and print the values. Is this thing clear?
Yes, sir.
We can even do slicing on array. What is slicing? Anybody, what is slicing?
सर कोई भी वर्ड है अगर उसको स्लाइस कर दें लाइक 0 to 2 कर दें तो वो
Not any word. Now we are talking of array.
ओके
Let me first write a 2 to 8. Let's see whether it works or not. Look at the just a minute. Need to print a blank here so that it starts new line. Have a look here. In the second case, here it is printing 2 to 8 elements only. 2 is 90. This is the complete array. 90 to 69. These are 2 to 8 elements. So I have done slicing here. Through slicing, we can even assign values to other arrays. We can create other arrays through slicing. For example, if I write B is equal to 8, 2 to 8, C is equal to, at the same time, let me print the values. Print B. C is equal to A 4 onwards. Print C. D is equal to A, say 0 to 5. Print D. And similarly, here I'm writing E is equal to A minus 5 to onwards, minus 5 onwards, let it be. Then print E. Let's see what's the output then. You can see it here. So this is for B, where we have sliced from 2 to 8. This is for C, we have sliced from 4th element onwards. This is for D, where we have sliced up to first 5 elements. Okay, and the last one is E, where we have sliced from the back. Okay, last 5 elements. Is it clear?
yes sir
I think it's very easy also.
yes sir
Okay, then there are different functions which can be applied on array. One is append, which we have already done here. As you can see it here, this append function is already there. We have already done this. Suppose I want to count some particular element. Should I remove all these? Okay, let these be there, no problem. Let please be there. I'll share the whole program with you. Suppose we want to count some particular element. We'll write here print a dot count, say some element 5. If it is randomly generated and it is there in the list, then it will return us the count. It's saying 0. Okay. Let's run it once again. Let me generate 100 values. Still, it is saying 0. Even in 100 values, there is no 5. Okay, no problem. Let's try 200 values. So it is saying there is one instance of 5. Here it is. 1 5 is there. Okay. So what it will do, what the count function will do, it will count the number of elements relevant to a value in the array. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we can even create or we can even append a list. Say there is a list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can do a dot from list. Then let's print a once again. What it will do, it will print, it will append the list in the array. You can see the last one. There are elements randomly generated up to 64, or rather up to 1. Thereafter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, they have been appended because of this function from list. Is it clear? You can append elements from a list, or you can even create an array from a list. Is it clear, bache?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then suppose
So
you want to
appending is done at the end of the list.
append means adding to the end of the list,
Okay.
right? ये जो element है यहाँ पे append, it automatically adds to the end of the list.
Okay, sir.
Inside the list जब आपने कुछ insert करना है तो मैं वो भी बता रहा हूँ. Just a minute. Okay. Then let's find out some element. Print a dot index. So what it will do, it will tell us index of a particular element in the list. For example, and now we are sure about it that 1 to 9 or 1 to 0 elements are present in the list. So let's say what is the index of 5. Let me print it. And here it is saying that index of 5 is 14. Suppose I am supplying a number 15, which may or may not be there, then it will cause an error. It will cause a value error here if it is not existing in the list. You can see a value error is there. This is the list, but 15 is not there in this list. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay. So you were asking about append. Instead of append, we can even insert an element. We can call a function a dot insert. We will provide the index. Let's say at the 10th element, we are inserting 1000. What happens here? Oh, sorry, I forgot to print the array. Print a. Let's run it again. And you can see an element 1000 has been inserted at 10th location in the array. Okay. So how many total elements are there in the array now? 10 we have inserted randomly. 10 we have added to the list. Then we have inserted another element at 10th location. So how many elements are there?
21.
Yes, there are 21 elements in the list. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, we can even remove an element from the list. Print a dot pop. Say, I want to remove some element 1000. Let it be 1000 insert किया था 1000 को delete कर देते हैं. And then again print. Oh, sorry. Even this way also. Let's print it. And index out of it. So it is asking for an index. let me remove from 11th location. Okay, 11th पे क्या था?
1000.
11th लोकेशन पे 1 था, उसने 1 रिमूव किया और उसको प्रिंट कर दिया. Okay, after that it will print the element that has been removed. Again print a. फिर 1000 जो है ना वो 10th लोकेशन पे है. 0 to 9 तो फर्स्ट एलिमेंट्स हो गए ना. हमने कहाँ इंसर्ट किया है 1000? 10th लोकेशन पे. इज इट क्लियर? 10th
Yes, sir.
लोकेशन मींस एक्चुअली ये 11th लोकेशन बनी. 0 to 10 is 11th लोकेशन, राइट? तो हमने 11th लोकेशन कौन सी है? इन दैट केस वो शिफ्ट हो गया ना 1, तो यहाँ 1, यहाँ पे 11th पे है. स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 0, इंडेक्स 0 से स्टार्ट होगा. तो आफ्टर रिमूविंग दैट एलिमेंट, लेट्स प्रिंट इट अगेन. So probably 1 will be removed. Yes, 1 has been removed from the list. Clear? Just in the same way, there is one more method of removing element. If I simply write pop without any index, it will remove the last element from the list, from the array. Again, you can see here 0 has been removed from the array and we are left with these elements. Clear hai bache?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then there is another function. Remove. A dot remove. I want to remove some particular element, say 1000. Then print A again. Let's run it once again. And see, 1000 is there. We'll remove it. And in the last printing, 1000 is removed from here. Okay? Yes, is it
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we can even reverse all the elements. We'll write A dot reverse. Print it. Do it once again. And look at the last statement. All the elements have been reversed. Okay?
Yes, sir.
We can store the elements in a list. A to list. Print L. That is the list now. तो रिवर्स करने के बाद उसने ये लिस्ट प्रिंट कर दी. बिकॉज व्हेन वी आर प्रिंटिंग एरे इट विल राइट इट इज एन एरे, उसकी टाइप भी लिखेगा. बट व्हेन वी आर प्रिंटिंग अ लिस्ट इट विल सिंपली प्रिंट इट अ लिस्ट. सो थ्रू दिस फंक्शन a to list we can convert an array to a list, right?
Yes, sir.
All these things are clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll share this program with you. Now we'll move to some program writing. Like yesterday, okay, I leave these as an assignment for you. Yesterday we had discussed some programs for using for loop, which we had applied on list, for example, searching or sorting, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
note down assignments for tomorrow. Note down 2 assignments. So first is implement binary search on an array. Second is चलो एक ही बहुत है. Even one is sufficient. रहेगा ये?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I think that's all for today. We'll continue with this tomorrow. Okay?
ओके सर.
Okay, that's all for today. बाकी कल करेंगे.
ओके सर.
Okay, sir.
Any questions? Any questions about whatever we have discussed today?
नो सर।
आपके क्वेश्चंस कभी भी नहीं होते। उसके दो रीजंस हो सकते हैं। एक रीजन होता है कि क्लियर है सारा कुछ, दूसरा है कि ऑल क्लियर है।
तो क्लियर है सर, समझ आता है सारा।
अच्छा, मैंने कहा कहीं ऑल क्लियर है।
नो सर।
ओके, चलो, टेक केयर।